Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Brooke In The Air.
Sorry we're late.
Sorry we're late, yes, about a half an hour late. Today we are finishing up the Star Alliance, the last of three major airline alliances. Next week we may do the Budget Alliance. There's two of those.
So we know we already covered this one, but this is an update.
Yes, we covered the Star Alliance first back in January. January of 2023.
Yeah, so almost February.
So about a year ago. We are going to do the 2024 update for the Star Alliance, which there is some updates available. We will go over the founding of the Star Alliance. Founded first back in the late 90s, around 97. The Star Alliance was founded by a conglomeration of 5 airlines that make up the 5 points of the star. We have Royal Thai Airlines, United Airlines, Air Canada, Lufthansa, and SAS. SAS, you'll just remember from me mentioning it, is being bought out by Air France KLM Group, which is making SAS leave the Star Alliance and join One World. So we'll have that to look forward to. Now that means Star Alliance's members are decreasing from 27 to 26 members, but we do have Emirates considering joining in the next year and a half or so. And we have at least 2 others considering joining very soon, so we'll see how that happens.
But that also depends on what happens with United's shenanigans going on right now, doesn't it?
It does, kind of, because it hasn't really had much of an overall financial impact on Star Alliance's records and passenger numbers, but it is troubling for PR campaigns.
We also probably will be covering Boeing and Airbus sometime soon as well.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Generally speaking, the issues that United's had have not been solely United's fault over the last 2 weeks.
Mostly, I would say they haven't been.
Yeah. Some things you just can't catch with regular maintenance. So, there's that, and the fact that Boeing fired most of its quality control team.
Quality control? What? Me worry?
And the fact that, in essence, Boeing sees profits as more important than passengers, which is to be expected now with a lot of corporate America overall. There's also the fact that the MAX itself has a very troubling history, and we have covered the 737 MAX itself in the past. Click back, 6-7 months in the past, and you'll find that. Because I accompanied the MAX with the A321, with the A320 Neo, the Airbus equivalent.
Yeah. But back to the Star Alliance before we get too much on a Boeing tangent.
So, let's see here. Okay, so it turns out my remote's not working anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That works.
Alright.
Technical difficulties again. We apologize. We need to get a better remote.
Yeah,
this one was a hand-me-down.
We need to get a better set, but I need to get an actual team that this is doing.
Yeah. So honestly, guys, we'll touch on that really quickly. We will take volunteers.
This will eventually be a paid position, but for now there are volunteer positions.
Yeah.
I'm looking for editors badly, and I'm looking for video and editors.
Tech Mini can only do so much, along with all of his other shenanigans, of which there are many.
Yeah. Now, this is a remote work position, and I'm looking for volunteer work. And honestly, a lot of you guys will be like, well, if this volunteer, I don't have to put 100% in. No, you don't. Anything is really what I have right now.
And also, here is the other incentive. The more followers and the more money she makes, the more everybody makes.
Yep.
Because you get a ratio of the profits. That basically is your pay. If she passes the milestone she wants to and people start going to her Patreon, you get more money for the same work.
Also throw this in. If this is successful and your work is good enough, and it will be, I guarantee. My contest I have up will open to you as well, and you'll have a better chance, and I will drag you along with me to whatever destination I go to.
And if there's enough, it might be a fan plus you, plus me, plus her. Like, we're talking, it could get, if it gets big enough, this is way in the future, big stuff could happen.
For people going to, say, I don't know, Tokyo, or, God help us, Beijing, or maybe Greece somewhere.
I mean, we've talked about bouncing around Europe once we get there, so...
Milan, Paris, Venice, Florence, Versailles, Berlin, Stuttgart, Hamburg.
Yeah. And again, if fans want us to do stuff, there is a pretty good reasonable chance, unless, of course, it's a really, really bad idea and you're doing it to be a troll, then we'll get a little salty.
Yeah. Anyway, so keep that in mind. I am pretty out there. This is the... But anyway, back to the show. This is the Rolls-Royce Trent 9000... No, Trent 1000 engine. Typically used nowadays with the revamped model on the 777s in Europe and on the A350s. However, this does power the vast majority of the Staralliance's fleet.
And it's a good engine. I mean, you've heard of Rolls-Royce. I mean, who hasn't?
Now, it's important to remember that the Star Alliance flies with all the airlines a fleet of over 5,500 aircraft.
And again, all of the details of this is in her blog. Seriously, it's a good idea if you're watching the video.
And thank you for reminding me. For now, my blog is free to look at, read, or whatever. You can comment. But eventually, I'll put a paywall up. It won't be a lot. We're talking like $8 a month here, people. For $8, you get access to my blog, tips, tricks, travel advice, etc. And you can also join my Patreon for $5 a month. For the enhanced screening, it's $15.
And will the and if you go through Patreon, does that mean they don't have to pay for the blog?
No.
So, but anyway, to give you guys an idea, she makes 4 posts a month. So if it's $8 a month, that means $2 per post. Seriously, you can afford that.
And over 48 posts a year.
Yeah. So...
I say over because I do occasionally make an extra blog post here and there.
Yeah. And again, if you pay for it on a consistent basis, you do get to have an input on the subjects.
You can have input on subjects. I welcome that. You can also tell me where to go on my trips. You can tell me what you would like reviewed. You can tell me, well, Noel Phelps and Josh Cahill went here. I would like your thoughts on here. So I will go to X or Y, and I will give my opinions.
And again, she does do all this research, so just another reminder, if you ask for something like, what happened at Area 51 involving aircraft? She'll research it, she'll look into it, and she'll give you a full thing up to...
A full report, a thing.
Yeah,
report.
A full report, as long as it's not classified material.
Yeah.
Because...
I am not going to jeopardize my newly acquired security clearance.
Well, you also don't even have access to that. That's very specific.
Yes, that is military specific, and mine is relegated to the Department of State.
Yeah. So, but yeah. There are ways, guys, so we've already had some people request stuff, but you need to keep on it. I mean, we don't know. We'll also, with a bigger team, we'll try and get videos integrated.
I'm not asking for a huge team. 1 or 2 people, even 3 at most, would help out immensely. And, God, I mean, it would just grow my channel huge. You don't want to work from home? Huge chance.
Plus, it's a resume patter, guys.
huge resume pattern. Also, I'm very freely available on Twitter. Will not call it X. On Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, Patreon, as I mentioned,
Street cat.
and like pretty much every other social media platform you can think of. Very easy to find at Brooke In The Air, little @ sign Brooke In The Air.
And she's reliably on it, unlike Tech Minion.
And like that's pretty much like I'm very easy to find, guys. Very easy to send messages to. If you want me to like arrange and like order your trip, I can act as your personal travel agent. I can do that very easily. One thing though, if you want to travel internationally, please have your passport information ready.
Yeah, because to give you an idea, guys, I know we're again massively tangenting. For instance, Africa or someplace in Asia, how long does it take for the visa to go through?
You have to send them your passport physically, and hope that you hear back in about 6 months.
Yeah. So again, guys, if you want to go to certain places like anywhere in Africa for anything, sadly, except for maybe South Africa and a couple other places.
South Africa is an unofficial member of the EU.
Mm-hmm.
As in, they're not officially recognized. The EU doesn't recognize them, but they use their own currency, fine, but they abide by many EU laws and standards.
And yes, if you're wondering, we also have a stream cat.
Okay.
He's gonna wander. Anyway, back to the
Back to the program. So, as I said, this is the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000. Taking more than 900. No, this is the 1000. Very commonly powering a lot of the Star Alliance's long-haul aircraft.
hold on.
And once again, my remote doesn't work.
And we're running all this off a laptop, guys, so yeah, there.
So, I mean, the pointer works. So this is the
I
Alaska.
can't see.
Oh well. So this is the Alaska Airlines 737. This is a yes, 700. The Alaska Airlines is not a member of Star Alliance, but their acquisition of Virgin Atlantic spurred Star Alliance to get off the laurels and start expanding.
So yeah, because Starlance has, I believe you said last week, the most at 19 or something.
26 members.
26,
I just
that's
mentioned that.
Shows how much I listen.
I mean, he doesn't even read my blog, so you know.
Hey, I'm a busy man.
So are they.
Well, not a lot of men, but I get your point.
So this is one of the larger 737s and part of the NG or next generation variety.
Was this the one that had the plug door blow out?
No. This is taken at their SeaTac hub or Seattle Tacoma International. And they're very easy to find out given their Eskimo on the tail.
I thought that was some important guy.
No, it's just the Eskimo.
No.
So this is one of their one of Star Alliance's international hub maps,
We have 3 total to give you an idea of how many places they go.
which is much larger than any of the other alliances, even worldwide. We have, starting from the east to west, I'm not going to name them all, but some of the higher points on here. We have Auckland for Air New Zealand. We have Johannesburg in South Africa.
2 in Japan.
We have Haneda or HRD or HNG and Narita, NRT.
And then I think
We
China
have
is
Shenzhen, Canton.
5.
Yeah. Yes. Well, 4. Taipei in Taiwan, Incheon in Korea. PKX is Beijing Secondary Airport. PEK or Papa Echo Kilo is Peking or Beijing Capital Airport. CCU is Canton. And SCX is Shenzhen. And then we have Delhi or DEL in India. Bangkok in Thailand, and Singapore, ASEAN. We have United's other Pacific hub in Guam, GUM. Golf uniform Mike. Then we have Addis Ababa in Africa.
Hold on, that might. Here.
Ah, there we go. Yes, Addis Ababa, which is a very popular tourist destination in both Egypt and the UK.
And then CAI is in Egypt, right?
Yes, that's Cairo.
Yeah, it's Cairo, yeah. Cairo, Istanbul, Athens, Zagreb?
Yes.
Vienna, ZRH is Zurich?
Correct.
Munich, Copenhagen, WAW is Warsaw?
Yes.
Frankfurt, Brussels, Lisbon.
Vienna?
Yeah, I already mentioned Vienna. Then we have Oslo and I can't remember what ARN stands for.
I'm curious now. I don't quite remember off the top of my head, but we're going to find out together.
I mean, it looks like it's in, let's see, Oslo. It's Finland. It looks like Finland. Yeah.
Stockholm.
Really? They chose that?
Sweden.
Okay, so. Alright, now moving farther west.
This is central U.S. I guarantee a good portion of you travelers have been here at one of these airports. But
Tour, Bogota, and Panama, right?
Bogota, South America, PTY is Panama. You can see that little isthmus right there. Then moving up to North America, we have IH, Houston, LAX, Los Angeles, SFO, San Francisco, DEN, Denver, ORD, Chicago O'Hare, IAD, Washington, D.C., Dulles, EWR, Newark, YUL, Montreal, YYZ, Toronto, Pearson, and YVR, Vancouver. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 of these shown are United hubs.
Now, the question: why do they not have more stuff in South America?
Because when two of Star Alliance's Latin American partners merged and ceased operations, they lost a lot of their South American commerce.
They still fly to them. They just don't
have hubs here. Their only hub in South America is, as you can see, Bogota.
Colombia, of all places, yes. Make your cocaine jokes. What I would honestly expect them to get is they probably wanted Rio for quite a while.
They had Rio for a little while, and then the major airline in Rio pulled out and filed for bankruptcy.
Who is it right now? It's not LATAM.
Aerolíneas Argentinas, which is Argentine National Airline, but Brazil.
That was their Brasilia or something.
Yeah, Brasilia, but they don't officially have an airline right now. They filed for bankruptcy. It was LATAM at one point, and then once TAM and start with L airline merged together, they joined One World.
And then Avianca isn't part of. Or is Avianca dead?
No, Avianca is still around. They're a member of SkyTeam.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, we could go on for days about the intricacies of different airlines.
In the capitalistic industry, the airline industry itself is very, very unique. I mean, in a way, it's nothing but a game of mergers, acquisitions, and survival, which is much like other industries itself. But that's only a surface level. Once you get past the surface, it's much more in depth.
Yeah. The only one that's even more crazy, I would have to say, is probably aircraft manufacturers. Because that history is insane.
Oh, yeah.
And it's leading us to lots of problems. But that's fine. On to the next one. How many Star Alliance members are in this picture?
All of them, except for the outgoing SAS. And the, Swiss International is a member now. But this is Swiss Air, and they're not around anymore.
Well, I thought technically the Swiss don't even own the Swiss carrier anymore.
Swiss Air isn't around anymore. Swiss International is owned by Lufthansa, and they're a member.
Yep. And then the first one?
The first one here is World Thai International.
Yeah. So we got Thai, we got United. We're just going to call it Swiss, even though the...
Pretty much goes with Swiss anyway.
Yeah. And then we've got SAS, which is sadness.
SAS was a decent airline, still is, but I'm referring to it in past tense because it's outgoing.
Well, and also part of the reason they're outgoing is they were losing more money than American Airlines.
They filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy. As a result of their Chapter 11, they were bought out by KLM, Royal Dutch, and Air France Group.
Alright. Boom.
And this features all 5 of the original founding members of the staralliance. And of these, we have flown collectively on 2. I have flown on 4 out of the 5.
Yep. Which, again, there will be one day when we've flown on every single thing in every single team, but we're not going to. Sorry, Jeb Brooks, going to bash you for a second. We're not going to fly marathons.
I love Jeb Brooks. He's a great fellow YouTuber, but flying from hub to hub is just asinine.
In 48 hours.
In 48 hours.
Dude.
And
if you're a glutton for punishment, dang.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a glutton for punishment, by all means, go for it. But, I mean, he flew from every American Airlines United hub, from hub to hub to hub, in continental U.S. within 24 hours and back.
Yeah. Again, great bit of information, but probably didn't help you and didn't do everything justice. But still.
Jeez.
Anyway.
So, starting from the bottom, we have a United 737 and a Royal Thai International A350, an SAS, Airbus A220, Lufthansa Boeing 747. Queen of the Sky is not manufactured anymore, but Lufthansa still flies them.
Flies them barely. It's like that is one of our bucket lists to try and get onto. We'll see what happens. And interesting little fact, it's easier and you're going to get treated nicer if you fly on them as a German citizen or buy straight Lufthansa tickets.
If they look at your passport and identify you as a German national or something related to Germany, they're going to be very nice to you. If you're obviously a tourist and you have a problem with your flight, they could not care less. Yeah.
And sadly, that's not just Lufthansa. That is kind of every company across the board because they're not making direct money from you. It comes down into capitalism.
And then we have Air Canada, Airbus A320 up at the top.
Now that also brings up a thing because Air Canada and United are pretty tight, but from personal experience, if you're trying to get miles, points, whatever you want to call them, switched over, or to make sure that it gets included, it can be rather difficult because again, you're not using that airline as the main.
Right. I will, however, say Air Canada's signature class is the best first-class type experience in the Western Hemisphere.
However, we're going to preface it with this caveat that we have not tested Polaris.
We haven't yet. We do have plans for that this September.
Yep. Well, it may not. We're traveling. We're going to be getting domestic. We're getting
the new domestic first product.
Yeah.
We're trying out United's new domestic first product, which is supposed to be very, very impressive and cozy.
Yeah. And then when we either move or go to our next time to Germany or somewhere, we are going to try out Polaris. A lot of people will ask, but you guys are moving to Germany. Why would you spend that much money? Might as well have gotten a good amount of sleep on the way over.
And honestly, to Germany, United departs from Newark or Washington Dulles, which is great. We can take a little polyjump flight over there, and then fly to Germany, and we get in at either Munich or Frankfurt, depending on where they stop. And then, if, say, we fly into Munich, it's a quick 3 to 4 hour car trip to wherever. I mean, it's really very, very convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe train trip, actually.
Yeah. I mean, or if we go straight to Frankfurt Flughafen, yay!
And Frankfurt Flughafen, people have said Frankfurt Airport is not big. I call complete shenanigans on their idiocy. Because honestly, Frankfurt Airport is huge.
Now, the reason why everybody thinks it's small is because of the fact that nobody's ever gotten full video of it. Now, there's a reason for that, which we discussed it around the time of our Frankfurt trip. You have to get permission. It is the same reason why you're not allowed to, no matter how many people would want to, stream air traffic control information from anywhere in Germany. The Germans are very, very particular about their privacy and also safety. Think about it. Somebody could use the video and the recordings of the stream for air traffic control of how to do something. Oh, since I don't want to say the word, very untoward. And the Germans take that stuff very seriously after Munich. Seriously, that's probably what caused the whole thing.
Now, it's important to note Frankfurt Airport is the largest airport in Germany. It's closely followed by not a backwards hick podunk airport by any means.
Neither is Berlin.
Well, Berlin's pretty small, but I mean it's a major regional hub. Frankfurt and Munich are the two major international hubs. That's why I mentioned those. But what other airlines have in overall like geological size, Frankfurt has in vertical size. It's partially underground and tall. They're currently constructing Terminal C, which will add an additional mile and a half, or I'm sorry, roughly 5 kilometers to the airport overall.
And we can actually also say this, that it is also more organized than, United, because we're switching pictures to you. It is more well organized than, of course, EWR.
Which is United's, again, primary East Coast hub.
Yeah.
They have Dulles, and Dulles is not bad. But Newark, oh my god. Having been to Newark, I can tell you, is completely a mess.
Yeah, when she has to call me to have me pull up the maps on my computer, there's an issue.
There's a major issue because Newark, well, you have employees, airport employees, giving you 3-4 different directions to the same place that they think is the way to get there, but they're not entirely sure. It's not their fault. It's the fault of
That brings up a question. Why didn't they have like little maps of you are here?
They do in Germany. They don't here.
Why not? We put those in theme parks.
Yeah, but I guess apparently the airport figured they put clear instructions everywhere for them to be mindful of.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, and apologies to everybody whoever hears this. People who are flying are dumb. They're tired. They're absolutely exasperated that they don't want to do anything or go anywhere. They don't want to think.
I got to Cleveland Hopkins Airport that day at around 9:45 in the morning. I departed at 2:30 in the afternoon. I left at 2:30, of course. Then I got to Washington, D.C. at 3:30. 3:30, 3:45-ish. And to pick up a 5:15 departure to Newark. And I rushed across Dulles, which is very nicely labeled. So I rushed across there and managed to make my flight on time because, again, proper labels matter. And then
I was not counting the crazy person.
Yeah. Then I departed from Newark at 5:30-ish after a slight delay. And I got to Newark at 6:30. I finally departed the airport after arriving at 6:30 at 7:45. After like an hour of almost being in tears.
Now, we can also preface this by saying that while United does have good labeling, and this is also the airport, at places like LAX, there's some things that are outside of their control. Case in point, we took off from LAX when we visited Los Angeles. Oh God, what was it, 12 hours later? 12 hours later,
we spent all day in the airport.
Because of the following reason. the plane was coming from Harry Reid Airport in Nevada. It was also, what was it, February, March?
February.
It was February.
Last year.
Storms rolled in. And
it
Harry
snowed in the desert for
yeah,
the first time in
it
years.
snowed a lot.
Yep.
And Harry Reid Airport had the same problem that they do in Florida. We don't know how to handle snow. So again, airport problem, not United's. United tried to get it out of there, but...
See, that's the thing with U.S. airports. Very few have snow removal equipment or like heated runways, taxiways, things like that. However, a lot of the airports in the north, like Chicago O'Hare, do. Like SFO does. LAX does not.
Well, LAX kind of does.
No.
Very rare.
They don't.
I think I've seen one.
No.
But
they have the ice there, but they don't have heated runways.
That's right, yeah. I was talking about snow removal equipment like snowplows. I think they have one and they barely use it because it never happens. It's mostly, if anything, a squeegee level for when they get torrential downpours.
Pretty much. Now, Chicago O'Hare, mind you, has an entire department of like several hundred people.
Denver.
Yeah. Yeah. Denver and Chicago both. Chicago more so because they're more north and they're right in like in Michigan.
Right. Yeah, but Denver has it because Mile High City and it's in the mountains.
Yeah.
But when you get to the East Coast, like Newark and Dulles Airport, oh boy.
They do now.
Yeah. There have been several instances early on where it was just bad. It was bad.
Oh yeah. If you guys are ever into it, look up Air Florida Flight 90.
Mm-hmm. Air Florida Flight 90. There's some Continental ones. Just honestly, look at it. If you are intrigued about any type of disasters involving pilot, snow, any of that, air crash disasters, Mayday air crash disasters is the actual name of it. We cannot recommend it enough.
Oh yeah. They're still in production. They're working on season 23 now.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's on National Geographic.
Yep. I mean, it alternates per season, like what channel will pick it up. Mm. But right now, it's on Nat Geo.
Yeah. So, but it is a very good show. They give very good details. Heck, they even covered the Malaysian Airlines disaster.
Not an exquisite, up-to-date detail, though.
Well, yeah, because they covered it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. And the Star Alliance has done very well in getting everything set up. In fact, right now, who's in charge of it?
Right now, in charge is the
United CEO, isn't it?
No. He's on the board of directors, but right now, let me get accurate information here.
Yeah. The Star Alliance, who's in charge of it, rotates through its members. Kind of like FIFA, the UN, the
headquarters is in Frankfurt, of course.
Yeah, headquartered in Frankfurt.
Their slogan is "Together Better Connected."
Mm-hmm.
And management is Theo Panagiotulas. And yes, Scott Kirby is now chairman.
So right now, the beleaguered United CEO, and I say that because Boeing's trying to dump on him, the public's trying to dump on him, and the poor man's trying to do the best he can to keep everybody happy.
Now, mind you, this is the same guy who pulled United's tail out of the fire about 2 years ago when he was first selected as president and CEO of United.
The man gets stuff done.
Under him, United has expanded to every corner of the U.S., has improved its seat record, and is working on a brand new Polaris product.
Yeah.
And has unveiled its new Domestic First product. And new Domestic First has brand new food, brand new amenities, depending on length of flight, and brand new privacy windows as well.
Yeah. And the Star Alliance has tried to do the best they can for everybody. It's why it is the highest rated alliance and has the most members.
Like, SkyTeam tries to cover for their low numbers by saying, oh, we're the business person's alliance. No. That's not, no. You just leave it there.
this is so we can continue on with the conversation.
The Star Alliance flies hundreds of business people a year, if not thousands. Business people's airline, I don't think so. Delta can make all the claims it wants about having the best flagship first seat of all time, but you know what? Statistics speak louder than anything else, and right now, United's Polaris beats out anything that even American has. American is currently ripping its flagship first seating out of all of its planes.
Yeah. Delta's having problems.
I just mentioned that.
Yeah, sorry. I was checking. For some reason, my YouTube chick had stopped streaming, and I wasn't sure, but we never dropped.
But, no, again, One World has 13 members. SkyTeam has roughly 19 members. And Star Alliance has 26 members.
And again, those can always fluctuate. Like, I forget, Star Alliance is supposed to be bringing in perhaps a Arabic airline.
I already mentioned Emirates.
Yeah.
The next year and a half or so, they're considering joining. They're already as close as it comes without joining. So joining would really be a formality.
And that would probably, more than likely, Emirates is Dubai, right?
Yeah.
That would give them the only Middle Eastern hub out of any of the groups, right?
No.
Oh.
The only hub access? Yes.
Yeah.
One World has Qatar.
That's right. One World does have Qatar.
But they don't use Hamad International Airport in Doha as a hub.
Which, I mean, that would be a smart play to have it as a hub because with everything going...
And Qatar has its hub there. It's the only hub. It's right there. But that's it. No other airlines can use it.
Yeah, which, I'm just putting this forward to Etihad and Star Alliance. Seriously, think about...
Emirates and Star Alliance?
Yes, sorry, Emirates. Yeah.
Etihad is based in Abu Dhabi.
Words are hard. Emirates and Star Alliance. Seriously, think about making Dubai a hub once they're in there. Because that would increase even more your tourist capability. It could potentially drop prices a little bit, but they could get it back in amenities.
Oh, yeah.
And with more and more people wanting to go to that tourist level, be incredibly smart. On that note, where's the Olympics being held very soon?
Paris.
So, again...
It's bringing thousands of dollars per passenger for Air France.
Mm-hmm.
Other airlines too, but Air France being the home of the Olympics.
Right. But that also means that more than likely, the Star Alliance is going to have discounts out of many places, such as Frankfurt, where then they can hop on a train and go to the Paris Olympics.
Well, they can. I mean, if they're departing from Frankfurt or Stuttgart or anywhere else in Germany, really. I mean, they get on the Euro train and they can head to Paris within like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we've also... Is the World Cup this year or next year?
Next year, they have the finals in Germany this year.
So, again, there's probably going to be a very good Star Alliance discount for the World Cup. With the sheer amount of fans who are going.
Let me correct that. There will be a huge discount for the Euro finals.
Right, sorry,
2024, and next year for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the World Cup is being held here in the U.S.
That's right. So that is going to be interesting. I know we're tangenting off random things, but that also will allow United to have a lot of possibilities with savings, but hopefully it's not another issue like it was in '94.
Well, I mean, there's only select stadiums now they can play in because they refuse to have their teams being carted from East Coast to West Coast and vice versa.
And they don't want any turf.
So they can only play in registered soccer stadiums.
Mm-hmm.
And Levi Stadium is one of those.
So they're going to be using SFO very heavily. I don't think there are any in LA, right? It's just San Francisco?
Levi Stadium in LA. Yeah.
Levi Stadium's in LA?
I'm sorry, no, SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, okay,
SoFi.
SoFi. So it's going to be SoFi and Levi both.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and the LA Memorial Coliseum.
And what months are these going to be in?
June through August.
Oh boy. Oh. Oh.
It's estimated far out, so it's not entirely accurate, but it's estimated to be 130 degrees.
No, that's pretty accurate. Because Tech Minion grew up in Southern California. That's why he's mentioning this. 130 degrees, plus if they've got the Santa Anas coming up in then, it's going to be brutal.
And they can't do it during the fall because of obvious conflicts with the NFL and college. So that's going to be very interesting. There'll be no team that's regularly accustomed to the weather aside from the South American teams, which automatically think they have advantages.
And the Arabic teams. Those guys that's going to be interesting.
Generally speaking, if you have a team south of the equator, they're going to be used to the heat.
Oh, and just dig no one. The Australian team.
That's south of the equator.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking country. So, anywho, anything else? We could probably readdress again the fact of, seriously guys, if you want to join the team, who should they email or talk to?
You can email me. My email is in the About Business section of my YouTube channel here. Along with the rest of my contact information. My email is thistorian18@gmail.com. Once again, that's thistorian18@gmail.com. It's written down in the business section.
Yep.
On the email.
And honestly, as long as you are pretty proficient in this, we don't need to see your entire history of, look at all the stuff I made.
You don't even have to present me a full project. Just show me what you've done in the past, like a rough overview, and that's fine. As long as it has something to base your qualifications off of.
Yep.
So neither one of us are heading in blind.
Yep. As you can see, I haven't done the best with editing, so that's literally what you have to compete with. It's not very much of a competition.
You could wake up late, brush your teeth, and not even comb your hair, and no competition to start the day.
Yeah.
Also, we will have another vlog up next week, as usual. My paywall for my vlogs are going up the next few weeks, I believe. Once I figure out how to set the paywall up, I will do that.
Also, if you like what you see on a lot of them, whether it's the blog or the vlog, please share it with your friends. Tell them about it, if they even seem mildly interested.
Have them join. It costs you nothing. I mean, just to click that subscribe button and you're set.
Yeah. And she doesn't even have control over any of the ads, so don't yell at her. We have not gotten any sponsored content, but if any sponsors are interested, we can talk.
Yes. I will also mention again that my trip prize is still open. All you do to enter that contest is to subscribe. I have 434 subscribers and dropping because people are unsubscribing for some reason.
We know we haven't posted videos for a while. Again, I'm going to school and working. She is working full-time, and we have a lot of stuff going on. So between that, we don't really have that much time, but we're trying to get it done as much as possible. We've tried to contact people about helping us out, and it's always appreciated. But again, everybody's busy. The more people we can get on this, the better it can be done.
Now, again, this would be if you want to sign up for us. It will be a volunteer position to start with. There will be no pay, unfortunately, but there will be pay later on as we get more sped up as we get subscribers. There will be travel opportunities. There will be pay itself. Obviously, I can't guarantee there will be benefits. I can't do that yet. But in the long run, who knows what can happen?
Yep. Also, the other thing, if you're a college student, high school student, what have you, and your school is requiring you to do volunteer work, yes, we will sign off on that if you do the work.
Seriously.
So, college credit.
I know plenty of high school classes now have AV classes video editing, text, something, whatever.
Computer science classes, if it has to be stuff for that.
If you'd like to edit a couple of our videos, that'd be great. I mean, we will happily sign off on any of your work. One more thing before we go. If you're really interested in traveling and you want some tips, inspiration, what have you, I highly recommend signing up for these. Travel and Leisure and Condé Nast Traveler.
Yes, you got to see Tech Minion's hands. How lucky for you.
And all total, I pay maybe like $10 a year, maybe 15 tops. Not a whole lot. In fact, the only thing cheaper is subscribing to my channel and my content per month, and that will give you plenty of access. But if you're interested in getting some tips, tricks, reading, what have you for free, or for kicks, whatever, sign up for these.
If we get more free time as well and we have editing, we might just start sitting down and doing an airline news podcast every so often.
I do post news routinely on my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm not sure how many of you are getting that. I will start posting more stuff on my YouTube. May just be a post here and there, like every day or so. We'll see how that goes. But guys, please comment, subscribe, like, share, what have you. Give me some feedback. I mean, even if it's something telling me to go F myself, I don't care. It helps.
But we will say this, if anybody's commenting on how good she looks or wanting to see her do other things, like, guys, come on. We'll take the comments, but it's like, can we have some constructive stuff? It'd be appreciated.
Seriously.
Because I know some of you are going to do that later on. I know you are. Oh my god, her boobs are great. I can see them. Huh?
Yeah, I know my boobs are great. I had to show them off. I spent 10 grand on them.
Yeah, I actually put you up so it's a little higher so it doesn't show up because I didn't want them to get distracted.
Well,
jangle the keys.
All we have for you tonight. Have a great week, everyone. Stay safe. Wherever your travels may take you, please be safe on there. Have a great flight or a great train trip, car, road trip. Adventure, yes. Always be smart and take care of each other. And remember to like,